She walked into Berlin as a wild card. She walked out of it as a semi-finalist who had just beaten the world number 2 and the world number 8 back-to-back, reached the last 4 of a WTA 500 event, and earned the most ranking points of her entire career in a single week. The loss to Noskova, 6-2, 6-4, is not the story of Berlin. It is the last sentence of a story that belongs entirely to Alex Eala. Let me tell you what actually happened this week from the beginning, because the full picture of what she just pulled off needs to be told properly. She arrived in Berlin on Saturday night with 4 days of rest after Queen's Club. Wildcard, the last name added to the entry list. No seeding, no protection in the draw. Round 1 against Donna Vekic, the reigning Queen's Club champion who had arrived in Berlin fresh off her own title celebration just days earlier. Vekic broke first, led 2-0, had 12 breakpoint opportunities across the match, and Alex Eala saved 12 of them, including 4 consecutive breakpoints in the final game while serving for the match, closed it out 7-5, 6-4, 8 aces, 3 unreturnable serves to close the match. She said afterward, "I told myself that she's fighting back, but I'm also a fighter." That is the sentence that defined the entire week. Round 2, Elena Rybakina, world number 2, Wimbledon champion, Australian Open champion, the player who had beaten Alex clean in Rome just 5 weeks earlier, 6-4, 6-3 on clay, breaking her serve 4 times. Rybakina came in with a first-round bye, fully rested, opening ace on the very first point of the match, led 4-1 in the first set. Was supposed to win this match. Every prediction site had her winning. Every analyst had her winning. Alex won the next 3 games, tied it at 4-4, traded holds until 5-5, broke to take a 6-5 lead, missed her first set point, stayed calm, won the set 7-5, second set, built a 4-2 lead, then served for the biggest win of her career, and went down 0-40, 3 breakpoints against the world number 2 with the match on the line. Saved all 3. 2 unreturnable serves, 6-4, match over, biggest win in the history of Philippine tennis. Not a qualifier, not a friendly. A WTA 500 round of 16 against the woman who had beaten her weeks earlier on clay. And she did it on grass with 8 aces, saving every breakpoint that mattered. Quarterfinals, Elina Svitolina, world number 8, one of the greatest fighters on the WTA Tour, a player who has competed at the very top of the game for over a decade, who has beaten Sabalenka, who has been in Grand Slam semifinals. Alex broke her 5 times, led 4-1 in the first set. When Svitolina clawed back to 4-3, Alex broke immediately, closed the first set 6-3, second set, same pattern. Steady, controlled, aggressive, won it 6-4, finished with 19 winners to just 9 unforced errors. The most complete match she played all week. Not the most dramatic, but the most dominant. She said afterward, "Elina is a huge fighter. That was the most difficult moment of the match. But in the end, I was able to just conjure everything I had left in my brain, and it ended well." 3 matches, 3 top 10 or seeded opponents, Vekic the Queen's Club champion, Rybakina the world number 2, Svitolina the world number 8, all beaten by a wild card in 4 days. And then the semifinal. Linda Noskova, world number 13, Czech, 22 years old, a serving machine who had hit 20 aces in the tournament without dropping a single set before walking onto that court. And at Indian Wells in March, the last time they met, she beat Alex 6-2, 6-0 in 56 minutes. Not a competitive match, a demolition. The Berlin semifinal was rain delayed. The court played slower than any match Alex had competed in all week. The temperature had dropped, and Noskova, already locked in from a week without dropping a set, already calibrated to every condition this tournament could throw at a player, imposed herself from the very first game. Her early set return pressure, which is the specific weapon she uses to build leads before opponents can find their footing, worked perfectly. Alex couldn't read the pace off the slower surface in the opening set, couldn't find the timing on the serve that had been electric all week, couldn't generate the forward momentum that had undone Rybakina and Svitolina and Vekic. The first set went 6-2, and it was not close. But then something happened in the second set. Alex started adjusting. The new balls helped, the rhythm started coming back, and she won 3 straight games to lead 4-3, her best tennis of the entire match, suddenly making Noskova uncomfortable, suddenly turning what had looked like a routine scoreline into a real contest. The crowd felt it. Noskova felt it. And right there, at that exact moment, with Alex charging and the match genuinely alive, Noskova did what great players do in great moments. She did not panic. She did not go defensive. She steadied, broke back to 4-4, held for 5-4, won the final game to close it out. 1 hour and 9 minutes. 6-2, 6-4. Noskova into the final. Alex said after, "I just had to adjust my game today. Maybe a little bit, because of the rain and maybe the temperature dropped. The court was maybe a little bit slower. But as the match went on and we hit new balls, I kind of started to feel better and better." The loss is honest. Noskova was better. She served better, returned better, and had more answers for the conditions. That is the full explanation. No excuses needed. A world number 13 in the form of her life was sharper on that morning on that court, and Alex ran out of time to complete the comeback she had already started building. Now think about what Noskova had to do to stop this run. She had to be nearly perfect. 20 aces before the match, 0 dropped sets. The player who had bageled Alex at Indian Wells. She did not beat a tired, out-of-form Alex Eala. She beat an Alex Eala who had just defeated the world number 2 and the world number 8 in back-to-back matches, who had been on court in 3 grueling contests in 4 days, whose legs were carrying the weight of the most demanding week of her entire career. That context matters, not as an excuse, as a measure of how far she went. And now, here is the full picture of what this week actually meant. Alex entered Berlin ranked number 35. She leaves it having beaten opponents ranked number 2 and number 8 in the same week. The semi-final prize money takes her Berlin earnings to 56,290 euros. The ranking points she accumulated, more than in any single tournament of her career, push her to a new career high. She played Bad Homburg doubles with Venus Williams in between. She has won 9 matches on grass in 2026. She is 21 years old. The girl ranked 500th in the world when she turned professional in 2020, just reached the semifinals of a WTA 500 event as a wildcard, and beat the second best player in the world to get there. The muscle memory from this week does not disappear because Noskova was sharper on a rain-delayed Saturday morning. It sits in the body. It sits in the nervous system. It tells her when she walks onto the grass at the All England Club for the first time in 2026 that she has already done the hardest version of this, already stood across the net from the world number 2 and held her nerve, already saved 0-40 serving for the biggest win of her career, already fought back from a first-set loss against a player who had demolished her 3 months earlier and made it a real contest. That is the Alex Eala who arrives at Wimbledon on June 29th. Not as a story, not as a name, as a proven, battle-hardened, career-high-ranked player who spent the week before the All England Club beating the second-best player in the world. Noskova stopped her run. She did not stop what is coming. The Berlin run is over. Everything it built is not.